Greetings, one and all. A few months ago I did a show about how I was having problems with meditating. That's resolved itself, and I seem now able to do new techniques in meditation which have helped me greatly. Which I've said to people before, sometimes we just need to change our techniques, but I still think there was something going on in the spiritual realms and this earthly realm that was making people find it difficult to concentrate in meditation, to be still. And then I came across this rather interesting lecture, I suppose it was, from Rudolf Steiner, and it's in GA 266 for those that are interested which lecture it was. I believe you can find it in the book Esoteric Lessons, and it was given on June the 8th, 1913. And he talks about what happens when we're meditating. So I'm just going to read a little bit. So this is Rudolf Steiner. Esoteric pupils often come and complain about the thoughts that attack them during meditation. It's really a sign of progress that one senses these thoughts. It shows that we don't just have Lucifer and Ahriman in us anymore, but that we begin to see them outside us as powers. For thoughts that arise like this are entirely from Lucifer and Ahriman. I'm just going to end the quote here, and I've said this many times that I've talked about how the dark forces come in through the mind, and we have to be aware of what's our own thoughts and what are other entities' thoughts. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, which I have videos of on this channel, I did them a few years ago, Thoth talks about how to tell if the thoughts are your own or not. If a dark feeling comes over you, is it something that's coming from you because you've suddenly sprung upon something in your subconscious that's being niggled or irritated, or is it something that's coming from outside? And he advises, which sounds quite simple really, we just try to shake it off. We give ourselves a good shake up and down our body to see if we can remove that thought. And if it does get removed, that's probably from something else rather than from inside you. If it doesn't let go, it's probably something you have to deal with. But anyway, I just wanted to interject there. I'm going to continue with Steiner. If everything had remained as originally intended, then after the Luciferic temptation, a man would not have been able to forget his thoughts. He would have always have had access to the Akashic records, but it would have been Lucifer and Ahriman who wrote up this chronicle for him. That's why the good gods had to arrange things so that a man could also forget his thoughts. Everything that sinks into the unconscious like this is dead, and Lucifer and Ahriman eat it up. They make it a part of their being, and it comes out again in men's meditation as Luciferic and Ahrimanic things. As soon as someone starts to meditate, the hope arises in Lucifer, maybe I'll be victorious in the world yet, and then he attacks the man with his discarded thoughts. A man really loves to go from one thought to another, and he doesn't love to remain filled with one thought content in reflection. A man doesn't really love the spirit at all. He must force himself to keep certain thoughts in his soul for an extended period. A man really loves Lucifer and Ahriman. End quote. Which is all quite interesting, I think. I don't like the word unconscious. I'm wondering if he is talking about the subconscious here or something else. Because everything does sink into the subconscious, but I don't know if it becomes dead. This is my own thoughts here. I think it just lies down there waiting for us to, I was going to say enliven it then, so I suppose it is dead. We need to put life back into it, need to use it to awaken ourselves. But I did find it interesting about that a man really loves to go from one thought to another, because this is one of the things about trying to be still. Be still and know that I am God. Our thoughts go on, don't they? And if one thought doesn't get our attention, it throws another one at us. Which is why in meditations we're supposed to just let these thoughts pass us by and not become attached to them. But in another lecture by Steiner, this time given in Morality and Karma, and this is in GA 135, he talks about how our souls that are passing through incarnations and incarnations, and we have to remember that Steiner doesn't think we are born, die, and then are reborn. He thinks there's quite a big gap between our coming back to this world. But he talks about how Ahriman lives in the etheric body and Lucifer in the astral body of man or woman. And he says, quote, Lucifer is a power that tempts the human soul by drawing it down morally and by leading it away from its origin. He casts us out into the depths of earthly nature, and we should be aware of this. Lucifer is the power that draws us down into the depths of passion. End quote. And this is how I've always seen the difference between Lucifer and Ahriman. Lucifer is trying to take us away from God, whereas Ahriman's trying to keep us in the earthly plane, completely detached from any spiritual soul divine path, and have us trapped in the earthly realm. And Steiner goes on to say, Ahriman, on the other hand, is the spirit of falsehood and error, and he falsifies our judgments. Both Lucifer and Ahriman are powers which are hostile to human progress, yet they get on very well with each other. Envy is a quality in which the Luciferic power comes to expression. When a person first discovers that his soul is filled with envy, he begins to fight against Lucifer, the source of envy. What does Lucifer do in that case? He simply hands over the matter to Ahriman, and Ahriman darkens the human judgment. I'm just going to end the quote there. And I've noticed this in the past, but I never understood. I didn't know why this was happening. I did used to notice that what I now see as Luciferic thoughts and ideas, when I began to see through them or realize what they were, things started to change, and not always for the better. Suddenly something darker came along, which is what he's talking about here, of Ahriman takes over. And Lucifer, he's saying, is in the astral body, so it's like I could see what was happening with my astral side, but wasn't strong enough to deal with the etheric side, where Ahriman was easily coming in. And Steiner goes on to say, when we fight against Lucifer in the astral body, Ahriman can easily insinuate himself into the etheric body, darkening our judgments on other people. This is falsehood, and falsehood is an Ahrimanic quality. Sorry, nobody's rang me all day, and now my phone won't stop beeping when I'm trying to record this. Isn't that fun? It's probably Ahriman and Lucifer, or Lucifer. And he continues, people also feel a strong dislike for falsehood, and they try to fight against it. When they try to overcome falsehood, we can see that Ahriman hands over the scepter to Lucifer, so that a quality creeps into the astral body which appears in the form of an extremely pronounced egoism. Egoism is restrained falsehood. These two qualities, falsehood and envy, are a crass expression of the way in which Lucifer and Ahriman work within the human soul. End quote. And like I was saying, I wanted to do this show because I wanted to express that I feel that I've been working in a different way with my meditations. I still have, I call it dark force attacks, come in and creep in and try and tempt me away from what I'm doing, or try and dislodge me or knock me off my perch. And but it's seeing the two different qualities of attack. It's very interesting how it works. I don't so much now go into meditations where I'm trying to be, reaching nirvana or whatever. Instead, I do a lot of the sitting exercises that Gurdjieff used to talk about. I do a lot of the exercises that Rudolf Steiner gives in his books, of sitting and being and working on my different bodies, trying to feel my different bodies. They give us different exercises to do that kind of thing. For example, Gurdjieff talks about how you can sit there, and if there's an empty seat in the room, you imagine yourself getting up and walking to that other seat, sitting down, and then you imagine, or hopefully you connect with that version of yourself that's gone over and done that. These kinds of exercises I've been working on instead recently, because I feel I'm trying to strengthen my other bodies, my etheric body, my astral body. I'm not sitting there trying to reach nirvana, like I was saying. I'm just repeating myself now. But at the same time, I'm doing other exercises, movement exercises, exercises to draw the sun into my heart, those kinds of exercises which have been very helpful for me, definitely in the last few months. It's given a definite lightness to myself and a feeling of life, rather than feeling like I'm not going anywhere with meditations. Doing these kind of imagination, inspiration exercises have been a lot more rewarding in many ways. So I really did this show to try and inspire others to hopefully keep up their exercises in meditation and such like. Anyway, I wish you all well in it all and in your spiritual and soulful paths. Till next time, lots of love to you all. Peace and out. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I shall begin. I'm going to take you to a lovely place where the sky is blue and the sun does shine. There is a golden beach and a calm sea. You are at the edge of the beach and you remove your footwear. You step onto the sand and walk towards the sea. The golden sand is warm on your feet and you feel the sand absorbing any stress and strain. As you walk to the sea, you can see a little boat tied to the post. You walk to the boat. The sun is on your face, giving delicate warmth. The air is clear and fresh. You can hear the gentle splash of the sea. When you reach the boat, you untie the rope from the post and walk into the shallows. The water laps your legs and your feet and you jump into the boat. The boat sails itself, and as you settle yourself down, the boat heads out into the sea to take you on a little journey. The boat sails at a gentle pace, and you can sit and watch the beach getting further and further away. Soon the beach is gone, and all you see around is calm water. This boat is a safe haven. Nothing can disturb you here. But things from this world do disturb you, and we are going to help clear that on this boat. As the boat sails, you sit comfortably, and you focus on a small area in front of you. In that area, a glass fishbowl materializes and hovers in the air. This magical bowl is going to be filled with all that stress and strain you carry in this day's world. You can send into it all the stress and strain and disturbances from the past. You send these stress and strains and disturbances from the present day into that bowl, and as it fills, the bowl turns dark in colour, becoming darker and darker as you fill the bowl more and more. Put every dark thought, every unhappy moment, anything that's holding you back, you put into this bowl, and it lies in it like a darkness. Soon this glass bowl is all black in colour, as it still hovers before you. This bowl carries all the trauma that has held you back, that you have been able to not let go of. This is your opportunity to be free of it. As you look at the bowl of darkness, feel down into your heart where love reigns true. A spark of white light, full of love, comes forth from your heart and becomes a ray that is directed to that black glass bowl. The white ray of love penetrates the bowl and slowly starts to transform the darkness within. The darkness becomes lighter from the ray of love that comes from your heart. The darkness is lightening by the ray of light and love coming from your heart. The darkness transforms into white light and love. As you look at the bowl, slowly that whiteness becomes clearer and clearer, and soon you can see through the glass bowl. It is as if it is empty again, for you have transformed that darkness into white light. The bowl starts to dematerialize. You are free. You sit on the boat, feeling lighter and full of love, as the sea gently rocks the boat. You are comfortable. You are feeling loved. You are loved. All that darkness has been transformed into light and love. You no longer carry it as a heavy weight. You may still carry it, but it is now light. The boat is heading back towards the beach in the distance. You feel relaxed, you feel lighter, you want to laugh. As the boat enters the shallows, you can get out of the boat, feeling the sea round your legs and feet. You walk back up the beach, refreshed and ready to go forward with life. Slowly the sand, the sun and the sea begin to fade, and you feel yourself back in your room, and slowly take your time to return to the here and now and breathe deeply. And you can do this meditation over and over again whenever you feel like it. It will help to transform the darkness into light.